24 Firebird student athletes have graduated, capping off an impressive year in the University of the District of Columbia Athletic Department. And the Firebirds have that and a lot more to celebrate. Today on Firebird Nation Sports Update, we'll visit with UDC women's track and field coach Alton McKenzie and his East Coast Conference Indoor and Outdoor Championship team. We'll review the Firebird inaugural men's and women's lacrosse seasons, the student athlete recognition banquet, and other important UDC athletics news. All that and more coming up, so stay right there. Hello, this is Firebird Nation Sports Update, your inside look at the University of the District of Columbia Athletics. I'm your host, Matt Rienzo. Graduation, conference championships, awards, there's a lot of good stuff happening at UDC. So stick around to find out who brought home the hardware. 2014 marked the beginning of the lacrosse era at UDC. On the women's side, the Firebirds made great strides under first-year head coach Melinda Brown. Though they came away winless in their inaugural campaign, they showed consistent improvement from game to game, and they've set the foundation for success in years to come. Midfielder Amber Walls, who will return next year for her senior season, led the team with 7 goals in her first season ever playing lacrosse. Freshman goalkeeper Danny Falco also had a solid rookie campaign with 70 saves. The men's lacrosse team's inaugural campaign was a resounding success, as head coach Scott Urich guided the Firebirds to 3 victories, including 2 in the East Coast Conference. Freshman attackman Chase Frazier led all Division II freshmen with 31 goals, and he earned honorable mention All East Coast Conference. Sophomore defender Luke Gillespie also had a fantastic season with 18 goals and a team-high 51 ground balls and 21 caused turnovers. Meanwhile, junior goalkeeper Tom Yancheski was terrific between the pipes for UDC, stopping 53% of the shots he faced and ranking 4th in the ECC with 155 saves on the season. The Firebirds continue to soar in track and field under head coach Alton McKenzie, as they earned their first ever ECC Outdoor Track and Field Championship. And we'll hear from Coach McKenzie and his team in just a minute. The UDC Athletic Department once again hosted its annual Student Athlete Recognition Banquet on May 1st. Among the highlights of the event were that the women's basketball and the men's soccer teams were named co-recipients of the Competition Cup, chosen based on academic performance, attendance at other UDC sporting events, and community outreach. And 11 student athletes were recognized as the 4.0 GPA Club. Team Most Valuable Players and Coaches Awards were also handed out. At the conclusion of the event, UDC Athletics Hall of Fame committee member Benny Adams presented senior track and field standout Katie Jones with the most prestigious award of the day, the Resin Woodruff Henley Memorial Award. The men's and women's tennis teams both had successful seasons once again under head coach Dickie Mahaffey. The women's tennis team finished 8-8 overall and 6-2 in the East Coast Conference, while the men finished 8-7 overall and 4-2 in league play. Both teams reached the ECC tournament once again, and they narrowly missed out on the NCAAs. Senior Miguel Uzcatequi earned first-team All-ECC honors for the 2nd consecutive year, and senior Jessica Nunez earned first-team All-ECC for the 4th consecutive year. The Firebirds were well represented once again at the East Coast Conference Awards dinner on the night of May 12th. For the 3rd straight year, a Firebird came home with the Excellence in Community and Character Award. This year it was women's track and field student athlete Katie Jones. The award recognizes student athletes who've distinguished themselves through positive actions and behaviors consistent with the NCAA Division II attributes of learning, service, passion, sportsmanship, balance, and resourcefulness. Meanwhile, senior tennis student athlete Miguel Uzcatequi was named the 2014 Male Scholar Athlete of the Year. A first-team All-ECC selection in the last 2 years, Uzcatequi has a 3.94 GPA in electrical engineering and was named the school's first ever Male Capital One Academic All-American in 2013. Well, we're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll visit with our first guests, the UDC women's track and field team, ECC champions. So stay right there. We're now joined by the UDC women's track and field team, the East Coast Conference indoor and outdoor champions. Ladies, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
And congratulations on an awesome year that you've had this year.
Thank you.
What I'd like to do first, before we get into the specific questions, let's go around and have you introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Smith. I'm a sprinter. I am a senior. My major is civil engineering. I attended Baltimore Polytechnic in Baltimore, Maryland.
Hi, my name is Brittany Ocon. I'm a sprinter. I'm a freshman. My major is health education. I'm from New York City, and I went to Penn Preparatory Academy.
Hi, my name is Charmaine Sweeney. I'm a sprinter. I'm a freshman. I major in history. I'm from Landover, Maryland. I went to Largo High School.
Hello, I'm Kimoy Mays. I'm from St. Andrew, Jamaica. I graduated from St. Andrew High School for Girls. I am studying mass media, and I currently do the 400 meters and the 800 meters.
Hi, my name is Atia Amos. I'm a sprinter. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm a senior, and I major in mass media.
Hi, my name is Riley Benjamin. I am a junior. I'm a health education major. I'm from Queens, New York. I attended A. Philip Randolph High School, and I do the 4 and 2 in the relay.
Hi, my name is Marlena Wright. I'm a sophomore. I run the 400 and the 4x4. I was born in Jamaica, but I live in New York. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christina Baker. I'm a sprinter. I'm a sophomore. My major is psychology, and I went to Christopher Columbus in New York.
Hi, my name is Simone Grant. I do the 200, the 4x4, and I compete in the jumps. I'm a sophomore. My major is health education. I'm from the Bronx, New York, and I went to Pelham Preparatory Academy.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Ann Jones. I'm a graduating senior from Kingston, Jamaica, and I major in journalism. I compete in the 100 and 200 as well as long jump, and I went to high school in St. Andrew High School for Girls.
Hi, my name is Shauna K. Carreri. I'm a jumper and a sprinter. I'm a senior majoring in accounting. I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, and I went to St. Andrew High School for Girls also.
Nice job, everyone. Now you can take a deep breath and relax a little bit. What I want to do now is just highlight some of the accomplishments that you as a group were able to attain this year. In indoor, you were the ECC champions, and several of you made it to the NCAA tournament. The 4x400 meter relay team of Katie Ann Jones, Jerilee Benjamin, Marlena Wright, and Simone Grant, you all were named All-Americans in All-East Region. Katie, you were named All-East Region in the 60 meters, the 200, the long jump. You were also co-outstanding athlete of the ECC championships. Shauna K., you were All-East Region in the triple jump. 17 of you earned first team All-ECC, and there were 5 second team All-ECC awards. That was just indoor. Now switching to outdoor, ECC champions again. Katie, and you were named ECC Athlete of the Year and co-most outstanding athlete for the ECC championships. The relay team of the 4x400 of Katie and Jerilee, Marlena and Simone, you guys did outstanding things again at the Penn Relays. You won Heat 5. You were 6th place in the Women's College Final, and you were the champion at the Colonial Relays. And again, 18 first team All-ECC awards and 7 second team. That's pretty incredible. It's a mouthful to even get out, but Katie, let me start with you. Wow, what a list of accomplishments that you and your team had. What do you say about all that?
I just say, that's really our determination and our hard work. We didn't get anything that we didn't work for, and it just shows based on what we manifested both indoor and outdoor, because it really has been a long season. A lot of people don't know that we've been competing since August. So it's not just indoor and outdoor. It went as far back as into cross country. So we're really just reaping the benefits of our labor.
Without question. And last year, you won as a group the first ever ECC championship for track and field. Mm-hmm. And this year you won 2 titles. Just how impressed are you with that, and how proud are you of that?
I'm very proud of myself and my teammates because, again, we were going against teams that consisted of 30 members, and here you have a small team from Washington, D.C., and it was like, UDC, who are they? And then we came and dominated. But what that took was a lot of us doubling up in events. The results speak for itself. You had myself, Shauna K. We do like 2-3 events per person. So it goes back to our conditioning and our training that helped us, to do that and still compete effectively in every event, regardless of the number.
Right. Now, when you look at winning indoor this year and winning outdoor, do you weigh them the same in terms of how happy you were as a group, as a team for winning those, or was one better than the other?
I'll say it's the same. It's the same feeling. I feel like outdoor, we were a little bit more excited to win outdoor because we didn't last year. And outdoor, we were lacking so much in the field area of it because we lacked throwers, and that was our weak area because we have a lot of sprinters and runners. Right. So to win outdoor, that really was another notch in our belt that we were very proud of.
Great. And now I'll give you another tough comparison. What about winning the first one ever last year versus winning 2 this year?
Oh, that shows that we were forced to reckon with, that we could repeat. You know, it wasn't a fluke, and we showed them that UDC was a school to reckon with.
That's great. Now, Shauna Kay, let me switch it over to you. All the success that you've had, are you surprised by the team success you've had over the last 2 years? And are you guys having fun doing all this?
Yeah, we are. We always kind of start out a bit nervous at times, but by the end of it, when everybody gets through everything and we realize we won, it's like the best feeling ever. And I'm not surprised, no. We
right.
do a lot of hard work.
And it seems like as a group you all have a good time. Is that accurate?
We do. We do.
That's good. I mean, if it's not fun, it's probably not worth doing.
Right.
So, now talk about all the work that you've put into, all the grueling training to get to this point.
Oh dear. All those walks to Wilson and jogs to Wilson and back, it's a lot. Sometimes you don't really even want to do it because you're so tired, you have school and all that. But just the fact that we persevere and we do it and we come back every day with the same attitude, good attitude towards what we're doing, it's a part of our success, I would say.
That's great, and that hard work definitely paid off, that's for sure. Simone, let's switch it over to you. Coach McKenzie, he's going to be on the show in a couple of minutes, but I know he always talks about how your team, all of you run cross country, and how that actually impacts positively your efforts on the track and indoor and outdoor. Talk about running cross country and what that does for you and your teammates.
So cross country, it definitely has an impact on indoor and outdoor. It's difficult, but I think I can speak for all of us where we say we don't want to do it, but we will because it'll help. And we have to.
And it seems like it does help, that's for sure, and it also does seem like you're right. We all don't enjoy it that much. But again, that hard work pays off. So now you and Marlena are 2 of the younger people on this very successful relay team, the 4x100 and the 4x400 relay team. What's it like kind of being on the younger side, competing with a junior and a senior, and then also competing against upperclassmen all the time?
Well, like being a freshman or a sophomore, basically there's no pity on you, so you have to strive and try to progress to be just like the upperclassmen or even better.
So your teammates were laughing a little bit when you said there's no pity on you, so I'm guessing there's something behind that. That's okay, we'll get to that maybe another time. Now let's talk more about the relay team, because you guys have had so much success. The 4x100 and the 4x400, both in indoor and outdoor, have been so successful. Do you all have a special bond? Does that go into it? You hear different sports, different positions or what have you, have a special bond. Is there a special bond with that relay unit, and is there anything that goes into that, team building, those kinds of things?
Well, yes, I will spread a little secret. We do chant BTB, but I won't explain what that means. Okay. But that is something that builds our confidence and shakes us out before we run.
And I think just all those weeks and weeks, months and months of training, obviously whether you want to or not, you're going to grow a little bit closer, I would imagine. So, now, obviously you lose a huge piece of that relay team and the young lady sitting next to you to graduation, but 3 of you are returning. So what are your thoughts for next year and that relay team? Obviously the whole team, we'll touch on that in a second, but the relay team in particular, what are your thoughts on your ability to be successful going into the future?
Well, of course, the 3 people that we have here will have to improve and keep progressing like we have been, and it's sad to have Katie Ann Jones leave because she is a big part in our relay, and hopefully coach can do some great recruiting and try to
recruit
replace
from within even. Who knows? Well, I'm sure you guys will pick up where you left off when it's all said and done. So Katie, and we only have a couple more minutes, I want to just go back to you really quickly. Recently at the student athlete banquet, you received an award. It's one of the most prestigious awards that the university gives out. It's the Resin Woodruff Henley Award. It goes out to the student athlete who exhibits the highest character, academic and athletic success, integrity, all those kinds of intangible qualities. You recently won that award. What did that mean to you, and how proud are you of that?
I'm very proud, but I must say it was really a shocker. I was totally blindsided at the banquet because I'm like, all right, let's see who's going to get it this year.
Oh, wow.
And then once I heard women's track, everybody, the whole auditorium just kind of turned on me, and I was like, okay, I guess I won it. But it really is an honor, to have received that award. It just goes to show that my character has been, recognized for who I am as a person and who I am as a student athlete, because the department really stresses on being a student first before an athlete, and a lot of people don't really recognize or acknowledge that. So I would like to think that I would receive this award with great honor and humility, and be a good ambassador both for the department as well as UDC. So. Well,
that's great, and that award is something that you'll be able to point to for the rest of your life and be proud of. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. We're out of time, but last question. You're now moving on. As you look back in your time at UDC, what are your thoughts? With all that you've accomplished academically, athletically.
Mission accomplished, I would say. The very first thing I said to Coach McKenzie when I came here was that I wanted to be the change at this university, and I definitely could see where I've left a very impressionable footprint behind. So I'm very proud, and I'm very humbled by all that I've achieved, and I look forward to my career after college, because it doesn't end here. I always tell people this is the beginning of Katie and Jones, so just look out.
Well, that's great stuff. That's inspirational, and best of luck to you. And to all of you, again, congratulations on just an awesome year and a couple years. Just a great job that you've done representing the university on the track, in the field, and also today on the show. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll visit with the head coach for the women's track and field team, Alton McKenzie. We're now joined by UDC track and field head coach Alton McKenzie. Coach, thanks for being on the show again.
Hey, thanks for having me, Matt.
Well, we just had your student athletes on, and they're a pretty impressive bunch.
Yeah, I know how much they love cross country, right?
Yeah, exactly. How proud are you of them, though, seriously, with all that they've accomplished, all the work that they've put in?
Well, honestly, I can't begin to say how satisfied I am with the year that we've had. If you asked me back in August that if we would have had this much success, there's no way I could have predicted it. I mean, I knew we had a good group. I know they're hardworking, but for everything to come together and everything to line up as it did, or the stars to align as it did, it's just something I couldn't have predicted or asked for a better outcome so far from what we've achieved this outdoor and indoor season.
Just spending some time with them on the show, they seem like they get along well and they're a pretty tight group. Is that pretty accurate?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
You spend, when you're spending as much time as we've spent together, think about it, we've been preparing since August. We have cross country, and from August till we're now in May, for them to be grouped together and seeing each other almost every day, it's tough, but as a group, it's a small group, so you have to have some camaraderie and to gel in order to have the success that we've had. So yeah, they have their challenges, their moments where they're disagreeing, but like I said, once we come together as a group, we have to come together as a group to accomplish what we did, being up against teams that have squads twice or three times the size of ours.
Right. Now, you mentioned this summer you never would have imagined, what would happen this year. What about thinking back a few years ago when you first came to the University of the District of Columbia? Now you've won 3 conference titles. We didn't even have a conference
Correct,
back then.
Yes.
So, I mean, could you ever have imagined, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, to have the opportunity to do that is, one of the things that I'm really appreciative of Ms. Thomas pushing to get us in a conference and then following through to pursue having track and field have a conference championship. Because prior to that, my first year, the only goal we had was to try to go to the national championship. So if you fell short of that, it would have felt as if your season was a failure. But to have a conference championship to lean back on, it's definitely something that the entire team can look forward to and pursue. And by no means have I ever been able to tell anyone that I could have envisioned having this much success this early. So that's something that I'm very humbled by how much success we've had in such a short period of time.
Now, I asked the student athletes a minute ago which they thought was bigger for them, the indoor championship this year or the outdoor championship. Are they equal in your mind, or is one sweeter than the other?
Well, it's equal in my mind, because to repeat as indoor championships as champions is hard. It takes a lot to do that. And then to win outdoor, that was the first time we won outdoor. So I might lean towards that a bit to say the outdoor feels more special. But for me, I know how hard it was to win indoor last year. And knowing that people are expecting you, or the pressure is on you to win again, for us to actually do it, felt very fulfilling.
And last year you won your first title ever with the indoor championship, and now you won 2 this year. As you compare those years, which could you choose there? The first one or 2 in 1 year?
Yeah, the first one is always going to be really special, because this, it's the first time you're doing it, and it was close. I mean, we won by, I think, 6 points. And so you've had some success, and now you try to match it. But the feeling of winning the first time, I don't think I'll ever get over that. I remember it just like it was yesterday. And as much as I enjoy repeating and having indoor and outdoor now, the first one is always going to be really special for me.
That's very, very cool, and it's interesting to hear you say that. That's great. Now, for the second consecutive year, you were named the Indoor Coach of the Year in the conference. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's quite a nice honor. And you've had some just unbelievably impressive awards won by your student athletes. Yeah. First team All-Conference, All-American, All-Region. I listed them earlier. It goes on and on. How are they able to accomplish all that?
Well, they're battle tested. They're tough. I think you've heard them say about being a small group, and I'll go back to it's because they run cross country.
They're going to hate to hear that again.
But they're battle tested. They've been through stuff, even the underclassmen, Simone and Jerry, they've been through having to contend or trying to compete to get to a national championship. We qualified outdoor last year, the last meet. That's very hard to do. We qualified indoor to become All-Americans the last meet. That's how we got into the national championship. So I think as a group, they've known what it's felt like to battle to get to where they've been, and they're also good students. So the balance of what they've done in the classroom and what they do on the track, it does give them some perseverance and allows them to be really tough when it comes time to dig deep and try to produce.
That's great. Now let's rewind a little bit to the indoor season. Mm-hmm. Some of your student athletes went to the NCAAs.
Correct.
What was that experience like for them being able to compete in the NCAA championships?
Well, we've talked about Kaden a lot, and I think deservingly so, but for one of the things that I took, the pleasure I took out of having what we did indoor, for her to compete in the 200 individually, that was the first person I had compete on the track. I had Shauna compete last year in the triple jump and the long jump and the high jump. But for her to be competing in a track event, the 200, and also being a part of our 4x4 is really special. Herself, Marlena, Jerry, and Simone had a tremendous indoor season. To become All-Americans, we qualified 11th on the last day, literally the last hour to qualify, and then to finish 6th overall and be All-Americans, running out of the slowest heat. We ran that out of the slowest heat. Meant a lot and said a lot about what we accomplished. Kaden was the lead-off leg. She pretty much led off the whole indoor season, and either she was in front or just barely behind every time she led off. Jerry was in a tremendous second leg. Marlena, the same on the third leg, and Simone just fought. We became All-Americans literally by her, fighting to the finish line to get to the line to do what she did. So what they did at the end of the season was even more amazing, because they shared with you we have to compete in 5 events at a conference championship in order to win a championship. So that's coming off 2 weeks prior, having to compete in 5 events in one day to qualify for the national championship, and then 2 weeks later to actually run 2 seconds faster than you did to make it into the meet. Like I said, it takes a lot of hard work and toughness, and they've shown that this entire year.
And you mentioned Katie and Jones, and I just want to ask you about her. She won the Henley Award. We spoke about that in the last segment. She's obviously moving on to bigger and better things. What's it going to be like without her around?
I'm not trying to imagine what it's going to be like. I don't want to think about it just yet. There'll be time for that, but I can honestly say she's had a tremendous career here at the university. and not just on the track, but in the classroom and in the community itself. So, she's a perfect example of what we're trying to build with this program. And she's exemplified everything that I've tried to show all our student athletes what they can accomplish. And it wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't as if she came in right away and everything clicked. It took some time to get to where she's been. And she's put the work in, and she's deserving of everything that she's gotten.
That's great. Now, just big picture a little bit. Last month on the show, we had the women's basketball team on. They won the ECC championship and made it to the NCAA tournament. Now, you all have won the indoor and outdoor championships. So that's 3 championships within the UDC athletic department. Seems like there's some good stuff going on. Anything you want to comment on about that?
Oh, yes. Firebird is definitely rising. It motivated me when they won the conference championship, Coach Butler's team, because I said, you know what? We got to go and do something on a national level now. We've proven that we're one of the best teams in the region. We've proven that we're the best in the conference, but we need to make sure the country knows that UDC is here and that we're going to make some noise. So it says a lot about what we're doing here at the university, and it definitely highlights the fact that our athletic program is a bright light for the university and that there's more to come.
That's great. Now, last question. You have a great core of student athletes coming back next year. What are your thoughts on next year and what that will hold?
Well, we talked about losing a big piece. The key is now that the underclassmen have to step up. Geraldine, Simone, Marlena as part of that 4x4. They'll lead the group, so to speak, but everyone has to contribute, and I'll have to do some recruiting, obviously, to replace a big piece. But the key is we've always been a small unit, and we know what it takes to ensure that we produce, and everyone needs to understand that, and everyone needs to get ready for cross country.
Well, before we let you go, I just want to point out the Penn Relays trophy here. Obviously, you guys had a great performance there as well, and that's a great piece of hardware that we're going to put in the trophy case here at UDC.
Yeah, proud moment for me. That's the first time I had a team compete on Saturday, and the only way you get to compete on Saturday is just to do something in the prelims. So we won our preliminary heat and made it to the college final of the 4x4, which is a major, major feat, and something that I can definitely say was close to the top, even compared to the conference championship. I'm glad you brought it up. It's close to being as satisfying as winning a conference championship.
Well, Coach, great job. Congratulations on all these awards and accomplishments for this year. You've obviously got the program moving in the right direction. Wish you the best of luck in the years to come.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for being on the show as well.
I appreciate it.
That's all the time we have today. I'd like to thank our guests, Firebirds women's track and field team, and head coach Alton McKenzie. Please don't forget to follow Firebird Athletics on the web at udcfirebirds.com, on Twitter at UDCFirebirdFans, and on Facebook at UDC Athletics. Thanks for watching the Firebird Nation Sports Update. I'm your host, Matt Rienzo. The Firebird is rising in the nation's capital, and we're glad you're along for the ride.